you can't go any faster, pull over the car. Like, it's baby time. It's baby time. Hello, welcome back to lmarievita family. If you haven't already subscribed, now is your chance to subscribe. No, Edward and I are certainly not trying to get pregnant in 2021 or anytime soon. I mean, who's trying to get knocked up now? Nobody. It's rough out here. So last week, after watching my video, I thought, listen, this lockdown life, it is a mess, and I almost looked homeless. So I decided this week to put just a little bit of effort into how I look today. So I hope you approve. Today I'm here to talk about pregnancy. My personal experience when Edward and I decided to conceive. I want to talk about our experiences and what we went through. Because some people are lucky. They're lucky in the sense that if you touch them like that, they're knocked up. Voila! Even if they didn't want to be pregnant. Whilst others, it will take weeks, months, years even. And it gets tiring. For Edward and I, and let me just back it up a bit, because when Edward and I were in our courting stage, I made it very clear that I don't have any children and I would eventually like to have a child, and he was okay with that. He was ready to have a child long before I did. I just wasn't prepared mentally to have a child. I'm in love with myself. You should be too, but to a certain extent. I got to the stage where even after we got married, Edward was ready to have a child, and I think the reason why he was ready is because he's older than I am, so it's understandable that he wanted to get it out the way. But for me, I just felt like I'm still young, and I've always said that I want to have a child before I get to the age of 35. So when I got to 33, I thought, whoo, clock is ticking, we need to think about baby. So we decided that we're gonna try have a child in 2018. I think early 2018. At the time, we were between Jamaica and the UK, so I'm not sure if I should say it took us a year. I think it was less than a year, but I think because we weren't at a set place, like it's not like all the time we were in the UK or we were in Jamaica. We weren't actively playing Dolly House. So I think if we were at a set location, we probably would have been pregnant sooner, I think. I don't know. When we decided, it was early 2018, and after a few months of trying, I think we sat down and I said to Edward, hold on a minute. Maybe something is wrong with you because you're older, and maybe we need to check your sperm count to see if, everything is swimming the way it should swim. And then I was saying to myself, well, I'm young, fit, and healthy. Can't be anything wrong with me, right? So we decided to go to the doctor to check, just to be sure, just to be on the safe side, to make sure that both of us were okay. So we went to the doctor in Leicester. I'm not going to say where. We had a sit down, and we also did a few tests, and Edward did his sperm count test and he passed with flying colors. And let me tell you, I would not hear enough of that. Like, oh, my sperm worries are fine, blah, 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 blah. Anyway, so then I began to think that maybe something is wrong with me. They did a few tests, but they couldn't really tell if there was anything wrong. I think the guy that we sat down with, he eventually suggested that we do insemination or IVF. And so mind you, he was saying that there's nothing wrong with us. And then he was suggesting that we consider IVF or sperm insemination. And I thought, That doesn't sound right, does it? Because if there's nothing wrong with us, why would we fork up money that we don't have? Because it's not like, I mean, I don't know how much that costs, but I'm sure IVF is not the cheapest. I thought, no, I think we need a second opinion. This doesn't really sound right to me. We end up, so before I touch on this one, because we got a few recommendations from a friend of ours, and we went to London to see this doctor. But before I get into that, when you're trying to get pregnant, I find that we somewhat overthink things. We try to plan everything, and for us, we were nervous, anxious, excited, everything in one. And I'm sure people who are trying to get pregnant, you feel the same way. So we bought a few things. Mind you, I dislike tablets to the utmost degree. And I end up buying Pregnacare. It has vitamin D, E, K, C, everything. So I was taking these for a bit, and I think I still have some in here. Yeah. I was taking, oh, they're massive. I was taking it for a bit, not sure how long, but I couldn't stand it. And see, I still have folic acid. I was taking these as well. And I think I was taking the liquid form folic acid as well. Now, in Jamaica, they always tell you when you're pregnant, you must have, I think, teaspoon or tablespoon every now and then. So olive oil, I was taking this even before I got pregnant, because I heard that when you eventually get pregnant, it makes it easy for the baby to slip out. But anyway, that's a different story. This one, Clearblue, which is a stick that you pee on to tell you if you are ovulating, and it has like a blank circle, which is low, so whenever nothing is happening, it gives you a blank circle, and then it gives you a smiley face with, it's almost like a sunshine aspect around the face, and then when it's peak, it gives you a smiley face. Listen, I can't tell you how many of these we went through. Like this is a full pack. We had so many of them. We were so anxious. We had so many. And it's almost like, now when I think about it, it was so stressful, because I found myself peeing on the stick so often, and I was so disappointed every time I saw that blank face. And then at one point I was confused with the high, the smiley face. Anyway, it did not do. For me personally, I don't think it worked. I don't think it did anything, and I'll tell you why I don't think it did anything. The second opinion doctor went to London, and the one thing for me that was evident is when we went to Leicester, there were a few questions that I thought this doctor would have asked in terms of, when was your last period? Like there were certain questions, I'm not a doctor, but there were certain questions I thought he would have automatically asked, and he didn't. So this is hence why I needed a second opinion. So when we went to London, I had a notepad and I had all my questions that I think he should ask, and if he didn't ask, I was gonna ask them anyway. When we sat there, I didn't have to ask any questions, because this guy you could tell that he's a very good doctor and he's very knowledgeable in his field. So it wasn't necessary for me to ask the questions, because he ended up asking them anyway. Yeah. And then he asked me if I have fibroids, which at the time I had no idea. I had 2 fibroids. They're really small, but we did a test, and at the time, the lady that was doing the test said to me that, she said, oh, you are ovulating. Ugh, ovulating. Listen, that is where all the excitement happened. Like, we have been trying for months. When this lady told me that I was ovulating, we live in Loughborough and then we're in London, and we had to wait around for a bit to pay bills and all of that. I literally felt like it was taking decades for them to finish doing what they were doing so that we could get a move on. Because the only thing I was thinking, come on, hurry up, speed up the process. We need to go. So when we got in the car, it was a nightmare. I felt like the vehicle was in slow motion. I felt like even though it normally takes what, 2 hours and a bit, felt like it was 10 hours. At one point I said, Edward, come on, you can't go any faster. Pull over the car. Like it's baby time. It's baby time. It was so funny. When we were sitting talking to the doctor, what I found out is you know, like when you have your periods and you're always checking to know when you're ovulating so you can clock the time and you can get straight to business. I would normally do that, but when I went to get my second opinion, what the doctor said to me is I don't ovulate the same time every month. So every month it was different. My ovulation was all over the place, and that's why it was so difficult to clock, which was key. That day, when we got home, baby time it was. And I think that is actually when we conceived. So thank you to that doctor that we went to in London, because I think if it wasn't for that, I would not even, because at the time when they told me I was ovulating, I wasn't even, the time that I had down for when I would be ovulating was not that time. So thank you. Yeah, so that's when it happened. So for me, I think that when you are trying to get pregnant, and I'm speaking to couples out there, I'm sure now during this crisis nobody is trying to get knocked up at any point in time, but my advice would be, if you are trying to conceive during this time, don't do what Edward and I did, where we were trying absolutely every product. We were just so anxious and literally planning everything. And to me, I think it takes the fun out of just trying to conceive in a more natural way, you know, not overthinking, but just going with the flow. So don't do what we did. If you are trying, as a matter of fact, stop thinking about it. Even though I know it's hard, it's easier said than done. But stop thinking about it and just go with the flow. Just relax into it. And just make sure that you are actually playing Dolly House as often as possible. Because that is the key. That is the key indeed. When I was finding all my kit, I don't even know if I should show you. So Edward ran to the bathroom and took this up. So it's a fertility friendly personal lubricant, but I don't even know why he thought that I wanted to share this with you all. Because we didn't use it. I mean, and I think the reason why I'm showing it is because this is to the extent where we went. We were literally trying every product possible just to make sure that we would get pregnant. Don't do like me, where I'm saying, oh, we need to get pregnant in December so I can have a child in August. I mean, it's ridiculous. The more I think about it, it's ridiculous. And what else did I do? You know, like when you watch movies and you'll have a lady who's trying to conceive, and after sexual intercourse, she will like be on the bed or wherever and close her legs like this, you know, just to make sure that everything goes to the right place. I even did that too. I'm not gonna lie. I did that as well. Oh, it was so funny. The things we do. But that's it for my little pregnancy talk, guys. I think I'll do a part 2 because there's a lot more that I want to touch on. But part 2 will be during pregnancy, and they call morning sickness. I had all day, all night sickness, morning sickness. I think they need to change that name. It's not called morning sickness. It's all day sickness. But that is for another video. I hope you enjoyed my little chit chat about pregnancy, and I'm quite sure that there was probably way more that I could dip into, but I don't want to sit here rambling on about us, and nobody's trying to get knocked up now. If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, please be a part of the lmarievita family. Share, click like, subscribe, and also comment. Until next time, see you soon.